Hi there, Candace O'Brien here. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful, sunny, brisk day. This year, a lot of my friends and I are celebrating a milestone birthday. We're going to be 60 this year. And I keep sitting here and I keep thinking about all the different lessons that I learned growing up and getting up to this age and being around this world for all this time. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned about is that happiness is an inside job. When I think back to being a child and of all the different people in my life and things, I understand now why I was always a happy child and why I always had so much happiness in my life. And when I would get down on myself, my mom and my dad would say to me, like, you're so well loved and you're so beautiful and there's no need to get down on yourself like that. Things will be okay. And when I've fallen on rough times, I've always got back up and carried on. And in my home, whenever we were growing up, my dad would always say, if you want something, you're going to have to work for it. And you're going to have to work hard. And I always did work hard. And if you want something, if it's something that you really, really want, you'll have to work hard to get it. And I always have. And I always got what I wanted. Whenever I wanted something bad enough, I always worked far harder than most people, I think. And I got it. I always got what I wanted. And a few times I've had to change, during my life, I've had to change directions on what I normally wanted. Like I always wanted to be a nurse. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I always wanted to be like my mom and be a nurse. And when I was taking my nurse's training, I ended up in a car accident, a very serious one, that I was unable to go back to my classes and finish becoming a nurse. So I decided I would start working for a naturopath, and I went in working in a naturopathics office. Then whenever I always wanted to have 10 children, and I lost 2 babies in my 3rd trimester, and the doctor said to me, like, you're not going to be able to have any more children, because if you do, you're going to end up dying next time. So I thought, okay, that's fine. Well, then we adopted 2 beautiful little girls, and then my husband's 2 children come to live with us. And now I'm remarried again to another man, and he has 2 beautiful daughters. So I've ended up having a lot more, well, not quite my 10, but I've had more than just my 1 child. I'm very pleased to have had a life where I've had a lot of influential people in my life that have always been there for me and boosted me up and helped me through different things. Whenever the brick walls would be built up in front of me, I always kicked them down and moved them out of my way to carry on. And it has taken me a lot of years to really love myself. And whenever I was 19, I was divorced for the first time, and it was a really hard thing for me. I went through a very low time thinking that I was not worth anything. I was 19, didn't know any better. I thought, I'll never ever have another relationship. I'm not worthy of love, and just a whole lot of things went through my mind. Then whenever I had my second divorce, it was a little bit different. I had a lot of pity for myself that I had just gone through this divorce. And then I realized it wasn't my fault and it wasn't my issue. It was his. That was his issue. And I thought, no, I can carry on. So, and my mom, like, she was always being, my huge supporter. And she says to me, she says, you have the love of your family. You've been through this before. You can do it all alone, on your own. So, just go and do it. And she was right. And that's exactly what I did. I started becoming me again. The twinkle will come back into my eyes, my bounce in my footsteps, always smiled again. And I was just happy. And I just decided, you know what? I want to be with me, and I'm the most important person, and I like me, I love me, and I had to learn to love myself. I, learned to love myself even more, and when I realized that I was the most important person, and that's who I wanted to be with, because I could trust me, and I didn't have to worry about me. And so whenever I got to the point where, yep, I love me, and that's where I want to be, and things just worked out so much better. Happiness is an inside job, and if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with anybody else. I see so many young girls and even older women who have gone through separations, and they've allowed these men to, or men, I can't just say men because men do it too. They've allowed the opposite person, like their spouse, they've allowed them to take their power and make them think that they're not worthy. And we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't allow anybody to take our power. Happiness is from within. And as long as we are happy with ourselves and we love ourselves, we really don't have to worry what anybody else thinks about. Please leave any comments or thoughts that you have below, and make it a great day. Bye for now.